Oh shit.
I'm still recording. Don't stop.
Me too. All right. This week's episode is brought to you by Lee Greenwood going back into his annual slumber.
Until next year.
At least I'm proud to be an American, or at least I know I'll sleep. Makes me a sad boy.
You're a banter, bitch.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway. Hello, welcome to the Hodge Podcast, the official podcast on countryhodgepodge.com. I'm your host, Steve Hodge, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, cousin and lover, Kevin Hodge.
What is up?
We have returned to the Skype FaceTime podcast because I have hoarded myself out for more money and moved back to Illinois because America.
Whores.
I like whores. But in that thing is that since we don't live together, we don't know every detail about ourselves anymore. So, Kevin, how was your 4th of July?
Wait, yesterday was 4th of July?
Yes, it was America's birthday.
Shit.
God bless America.
But no, I had a great 4th. Went over to Jake's parents' place. They have a pool, and just kind of hung out by the pool all day, and then we played Slip and Slide Flippy Cup. Which is
slip and flip?
Exactly. It is exactly how much fun you would have expected to be. It was very fun.
If I didn't have to come home and take care of the puppies, I totally would have.
Yeah, it was really fun because there were certain times where people tried to like slide as fast as possible and they just ate shit and it was hilarious. So yeah, no, it was really fun. What did you do?
We should try getting a slip and flip going at Medicine Stone. If we could find
God.
like a part of field
that would be amazing.
We could do that.
The only problem is like you need the hose to be like on it the whole time.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
we need to get something to pump water from the river onto a tarp. But
just put a tarp in the river and then try to figure it out.
I had probably the most uneventful 4th of July I've ever had because I drove home, obviously, because as we'll get to in a second, we saw John Moreland. Oh, I didn't say what we're talking about this week. This week we're going to talk about 4th of July, and then we're going to talk about John Moreland, and then we're going to talk about the best albums of the year so far. But anyway, So I drove out for the John Moreland concert, which we'll talk about soon. But then I came home because I had to take care of the puppies because my parents decided to go up to the cabin and leave the puppers with me. Even though they're little cute heads, but they're little shit heads at the same time.
Puppies!
So I came home, I just hung out with them, and I watched Season 2 of The Good Place, which is a fantastic show, and I suggest everyone watch it, even though that has nothing to do with country music.
Yeah, I gotta get around to watching that.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, so if you don't know, it has Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, and she plays someone who lived a shitty life, and she's not supposed to be in the good place of the afterlife, so she's trying to find out a way for her to stay, and it's really, really good. But it's also a Michael Schur show who created Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Parks and Rec, and he was also a writer / he was Mose on The Office. And so if you if you're a fan of all of that stuff, you'd definitely be a fan of The Good Place. And if you hear occasional squeak toys in the background of this episode, that is the puppies.
God damn it, puppies. We're trying to record.
They're the live studio audience. But yeah, so get back to the other thing that I was out there for, the John Moreland concert. We saw him again at Codfish Hollow in Maquoketa, Iowa. It's just this barn in the middle of nowhere, if you haven't heard us talk about it before, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. My opinion has not changed. Codfish Hollow is my favorite venue I've ever been to
100%.
see music.
Other than the fact that it was hot as shit.
Yeah, it was super hot. But then also seeing John Moreland there is the best show ever.
And
like,
John
it's just
Calvin
awesome.
Abney. Can't keep him out. But yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you don't know, he's the guitarist who always plays with him. He also plays harmonica and piano, and it was just those two playing.
Yeah, and he's John Calvin Abney is such a great musician that even though it was just the two of them, they had so much sound.
His album barely missed my top for this year so far because his album is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a really, really good album.
It is. Definitely worth checking out.
But yeah, so Yeah, I don't have really much else to say about it. We talked about seeing John Moreland last time because we saw him about a year ago, just after Kevin closed on his house, so he got nice and drunk, and I drove him out there. And
it was a great time.
And, yeah, it was a great concert. I don't remember who opened for him last time, but he only had one opener this time. He had two last time. They were both really good, I remember.
Yeah, I don't remember who they
were.
Yeah.
But yeah, John Moreland, even though, once again, he didn't play You Don't Care For Me Enough to Cry, and it made me care enough to cry.
And I was like, he didn't care enough about me to cry from the standpoint of playing that song for me so that I didn't cry.
Exactly. But he did play 3:59 a.m., which is my second favorite song by him. So
yeah, that song is amazing. And he played Break My Heart Sweetly for the encore, which is... I feel like 3:59 a.m., Break My Heart Sweetly, and You Don't Care Enough for Me to Cry are probably my top three, and so 2 of the 3 is not bad.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a fantastic concert. If you ever get the chance to see John Moreland, or if you ever see tickets go on sale for him, buy them right away because concerts pretty much always sell out now because he's that huge.
Yeah,
did
definitely
this one sell
out? No, this one did not, but I think it was also because it was the 3rd of July, so...
Yeah,
a lot of the Quad Cities events were going on yesterday, like all the fireworks and stuff. So I'm pretty sure it did sell out the first time we saw it.
The first time it did sell out. I do remember that because it sold out and it was fantastic. Because I remember someone said they were going to buy tickets, but it was already sold out. So we're like, yeah, sorry you missed out.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag you missed out.
Hashtag you missed out, truck. Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway,
truck, yeah, wanna get it jacked up, yeah, let's crank it on up, yeah.
This week we were going to talk about an artist, but we decided, holy shit, it has been half the year already. So let's start talking about all the fantastic albums that have come out because, as per usual, there were a lot of very good albums that came out.
It's one of those where I knew that it was it's been a great year for music before I even started looking at the list of albums, and then you sent me the list, and I was like, holy hell.
There's literally... So of the albums we've talked about this year, there have literally been 127 albums that we have talked about. And there have been more that we've missed on. Yeah, there have been more that we've probably missed. There's been that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's literally been 127 albums that we've enjoyed. There's been a lot of bad country albums that have come out that we haven't talked about because they're terrible.
Oh, exactly. So yeah, that 127 does not include the shitty stuff that I don't want to talk about. Yeah, exactly. So there's literally 127 albums that we're aware of that are good.
So this week we didn't want to rank them because, well, we could have, but there's really no point yet because we still have half a year to go. That our top 15 that we're going to put out at the end of the year, it's going to be different than... It'll have some of these albums on it, obviously, but it's going to be different than what we're talking about. So we just kind of want to mention the 15 or 16 that we enjoy right now. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes, okay, I did count right.
Counting.
Yeah. So the first we're going to talk about 10 of them that were really good. They I don't know, they might not be on our tops at the end of the year. They might, we don't know. But then we're going to talk about 6 that we think really stand out above all of the other ones that have come out so far this year. But just know that the 127 that we've talked about have been a good 127. Like, if I was debating actually making a list of the 127 albums that have come out so far this year, just listing them in order and everything, no particular ranking, but just to show everyone how many amazing albums have come out. And who knows, I might actually make that playlist.
You should record yourself saying all 127 of them, and then speed it up really fast and have it be like one of those legal disclaimers at the end of an advertisement.
We got Sara
Exactly, and just like end the podcast with that.
I'll end it with, if you have burning urination, please contact your doctor. Yeah, so let's just hop into really quickly, we'll go through 10 that are really good but aren't, like, our kind of album of the year contenders, I guess. We don't want to, like, these are 10 really good, just not the best. I don't know. It's hard to write.
We looked at all these albums, and then these are 10 of them that stood out to us as really good that we liked a lot.
Yeah, so these aren't in any particular order. Actually, they're, and I think in release order, because I think that's how I wrote them down. But so first off is Sara Morgan's Average Jane, which came out on January 26th.
Traded that whiskey for a jar of sweet tea. I just told them all the truth. Baby, you got me thinking maybe instead of drinking, I should just come back home to you. Come on.
So this album it's one of those albums that when you look at the songs on Spotify, they all have the less than 1,000 plays like thing next to it, because she's not a huge artist, but this album is just a fantastic, very traditional country album, and I just love every second of it because she never tries being a pop artist or selling out to be. It's like, and it's not like leaning into Americana where it's like, look how kind of weird I am. It's just like a straight up just fantastic traditional country album, and I love that she does that. We follow her on Twitter, and she always just puts out shit of just like, what are these people doing? Like, this is not country, and it's just, I love her for all that, and the album is fantastic.
Hey, absolutely.
Then after that is Mike Moonpie.
Mike Moonpie.
Mike Moonpie and the Moonpies' Steak Night at the Prairie Rose, which came out February 2nd.
The beaches of Biloxi got the best of me again. On that damn riverboat, the dealers always win. And I'm gonna lose her to the tables and the gin. The beaches of Biloxi got the best of me.
We saw them. Was it right after this album came out?
I thought it was right before it came out. I thought it came out. Yeah, because I thought it was. We saw him, and then it was like literally that Friday it came out, or like the very next week.
I think it was the Friday before it, because I remember knowing the words to Steak Night at the Prairie Rose, or at least remembering the song, or maybe I'd heard it before. I don't know.
I thought. I mean, not to beat the dead horse, but I'm pretty sure. I feel like I remember him playing songs, and when I listened to it later, I'm like, yeah. But now that I'm saying this out loud, I think I'm wrong, and I think you're right.
But anyway,
now my brain is broken.
It came out right around when we saw him.
Yeah. Regardless, we saw
open for Jason Boland.
Yeah, we saw live songs from Steak Night at the Prairie Rose. That happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was good.
This album was just beyond fantastic. If you don't know Mike and the Moonpies, we'll do an episode on them eventually. They're just a fantastic, very traditional country band. They do a lot of songs about touring and stuff, which is a very traditional kind of thing.
Yep.
Hey, quit arguing, puppies.
I'll try.
But they were growling, so I don't know if you'll be able to hear that on the recording.
It's okay, Steve. We get that you're hungry and you're just trying to hide it.
I got an email from Domino's, and it took every bit of me to not order Domino's. I might, because
temptation.
It's 2 for $5.99 each. I'm like, I could spend $13 on food.
I'm not spending money. I'm saving money. The deals.
Exactly. The deals, bro. But yeah, so Mike and the Moonpies, we've seen them live. They're actually opening for Jason Boland again in November in Iowa City. I just stubbed my toe. This podcast is going off the rails.
We're going down. We're going down hard.
But yeah, they're just awesome. They're actually at Miles. They're at Miles Zero Fest, which I really, really want to go to. If you haven't seen that, lineup's been announced, and it's amazing.
It had a really great lineup last year.
I want to see literally every band that's
it looks
there.
real good again. So yeah.
And
so
it's very excited for
it's
that.
in January to February range.
Yeah, the
so
end of January up
it's
through
super
February
shitty
2nd,
up here.
which is right through my birthday.
Yeah, super shitty
if
up
we
here.
go-
So definitely would be worth going down there.
I was gonna say if we go, we
Vacation.
could record there, but we'd have to fly equipment down there. That would suck.
That would be a pain in the ass, and they'd probably think it was a bomb.
Yeah, probably. Which it's not. We're Americans. We celebrate 4th of July.
Yeah.
Well, I did by watching TV. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, Micah Moonpie, Steak Night at the Prairie Roast. Check that album out if you haven't. It would barely missed out on our album of the year contention. Even though honestly, I might rethink it, and it might be my album of the year because I do fucking love this album. But yeah, next is Wade Bowen's Solid Ground, which came out February 9th.
Please don't hold it against me. I think we both know why. Think we both know why. So on 6th Street, gonna miss you under my feet. Sometimes I gotta run till I can find a honky. Tell her when you see her that I was too weak to look her in the eye. I hate it when she cries anyway. Well, anyway, I think she's probably better off without me. So long, 6th Street. Gonna miss you under my feet.
Yeah, I really liked this album.
Yeah, Wade Bowen, as we talked about on the episode that we did about him, he's one of my favorites. He's like one of the Texas artists that actually got me into it. I sadly missed him when he was at Country Thunder 6 years ago, I think.
yeah.
And because I think at that time I had only heard Saturday Night and a couple other songs from that album, and so I was like, oh, I kind of want to see him, but I'm not, I don't know too much about him, so I missed it, and I'm kick myself for not doing that,
Yeah.
even though I have seen him live since, but yeah, it sucks that I missed him then. But
Yeah, I
this
still haven't
album
seen him,
is-
so I'm really excited because he's going to be at Medicine Stone, right? I
I
thought that he's going to be at Medicine
yeah,
Stone this year.
Yeah, because I think he's right before Randy Rogers.
Yeah, because
think
I
they
thought I
released the
remember.
schedule.
Yeah, I thought I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Hell yeah, I haven't seen him yet, so that's going to be awesome."
Yeah, I'm really pumped to see him again because actually he's been to Chicago 4 times, and only one time I've been able to go. The other ones, I literally had plans that I couldn't break to go to it, and it made me sad. But yeah, so this album itself, though, it's just honestly, I feel like it's more country than his previous album was. His last album, which was his, I believe, self-titled album. I think that's what it was. It was a fantastic album, but this one I feel like it kind of went to Texas roots more than his other albums have been. And
It's
this
got
one,
some Hispanic
yeah, I was gonna say
feelings
it has
on it too, which is really really cool.
Yeah, it has the Texicana or whatever it's called, the Texican sound to
Yeah.
it, and it's awesome. Because that's what I love Vaquero by Aaron Watson for. It had that sound to it.
You would.
I know. Then next is, I'm not going to keep going back and forth to the dates. So this one came out next in February at some point. Bonnie Montgomery's Forever.
But love goes on forever, and the highway lights, they just shine, and I will never leave you, even in the darkness of the night.
So if you haven't listened to the episode where we interview her, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go back and listen to that episode.
Go
because
back
Bonnie-
right now. Pause
Yeah,
this
just
one.
Pause this episode and go back to it because fuck you for not listening to that episode. But no, Bonnie Montgomery, we talked to her and she was awesome. So who knows? We might be a little biased. I don't know. But this album is fan-fucking-tastic. She was an opera. She had a background in opera before she got into country. And she's just...
Got pipes.
Yeah, she's got pipes, and she has the song Forever on it. She has 4 different renditions of it, and they're all different genres, and they're all but they're all country genres. They're not it's not a hip hop beat for one of them. It's
And then a polka one.
Well, because she has like the kind of Mexican classical guitar for one of them. There's like an orchestrated version one. There's a straight up country version.
Uh-oh.
And is there one more, or is that just it? I don't remember. But it's just a fantastic album. Uh-oh, we're reconnecting. 1 second. Hold on. What's going on? Kevin? Kevin? Comcast sucks balls.
Yeah, fuck you, Comcast.
Anyway, all right, we're back. Maybe if it disconnects,
it.
we might have to cut this out again.
R.I.P. and peace to the podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, buy Montgomery forever. Check it out. It's fantastic. Listen to the episode where we talked to her because she's hilarious and she had good stories and she was awesome.
Absolutely.
Next is Dallas Moore's Mr. Honky Tonk.
Kentucky seems so far away this evening. I go back with each shot of Jim Beam. Tonight I'll probably go to sleep in Texas. That's where I go when I drift off to dream. Home is where the highway is, the only road I've ever known. Home is where the highway is, live the highway and take me home.
This dude is he just sounds.
Well, the title,
country.
Mr. Honky Tonk, is very accurate. It's just a straight up country, just straight up country rockin' honky tonkin' album. It's good.
We're seeing him in 3 weeks ish. Opening for Cody Jinks, Whitey Morgan, Ward Davis,
and Coulter Wall.
It's that's probably the best single day lineup I've ever seen.
Seriously, one of the best single day lineups ever. And suck on that, Country Thunder, you bastards.
Country Thunder is the greatest. They have the Sam Hunt playing this year.
Oh, you're right.
So I sent this screenshot to Kevin, but this girl I know, her name's Katie. I'm not going to say anything else.
Shout out.
She I don't think she listens, but
damn it.
Why don't you listen?
Come back.
She Facebook messaged me the other day. I got it like 4 hours later because I don't check Facebook ever, and for some reason I didn't get the app notification. But she messaged me just being like, all my friends are mad at me for saying Sam Hunt's not country. I want to go to Country Thunder, but I hate Sam Hunt. I'm just like, so I just replied, Sam Hunt is country music for people who don't like country music.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he is, and he sucks. And
fuck him. Fuck him.
Fuck him. But yeah, Dallas Moore.
Random thing. My phone just buzzed, and I got a Twitter notification. But I got followed by Jason Boland's drummer yesterday on Twitter.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, well, I'm followed by Jason Boland, so.
No.
Well, the Hodgepodge Instagram is followed by him. But yeah, anyway, Dallas Moore, Mr. Honky Tonk, fantastic album.
Yeah,
Check it out.
goodness.
Next is Whiskey Wolves of the West, Country Roots.
The party be over when he threw his bottle at the wall. But he picked up the broken pieces to play the slide guitar. Yeah, that's the sound of the South coming through some broken people, clearing ground, pouring out from Mississippi to Alabama. Sooner or later, everybody gonna come around to the sound of the South. That's the sound of the South. Scratchy old record spinning all night long.
I really liked this album. Or
I remember
EP
this-
or whatever, because it's short as well. But it's really good. They just have they have this, because it's country, but it's got this kind of old-time jam band feel to it at times.
Yeah.
And it's really, that's really my cup of tea. So I was just like, yeah, I really like what you're putting out right now.
Yeah, this one was fantastic. I remember this one came out. I had it on the Friday's new music list, and I sent it out. And sometimes Kevin doesn't listen to that playlist because he's a bad friend. But
Exactly. And don't you forget.
I remember you were playing, like, you had I don't know if it was on your daily mix or you just found one of the songs or whatever, but you were playing and you're like, these guys are good. I'm like, yeah, it was on the Friday's New Music last week.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
okay.
I mean, yeah, that's exactly where I found it.
Yeah, actually,
I was just testing you.
you were testing my friendship, and I failed. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's a fantastic. Yeah, they're a very old-sounding, just jam bandish kind of country thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Next is Sara Shook and the Disarmers album Year.
Afraid of losing everything to you. My heart, my pride, the wreck inside, nothing on this jukebox except the blues. Baby, if you go, it's over for good, and I'm as good as gone. No, it won't be long till the wrong song comes on at the right time. You're as good as gold. I'm as good as gone.
She's just a very outlaw / rock country artist.
it really
and
is.
It's a fucking awesome album. Like, I love it. I don't remember why. There was something who, like, compared her to Waylon, and I was like, I'm okay with that comparison because this chick just rocks. Like, it's so good. It's just it's either, it sounds outlaw or it sounds rock. It's like not even, like, traditional country. It's outlaw country. Like, it sounds like that.
Yeah, and she's got a very distinct sound that once
Like
you
a
hear it,
gr-
you're like,
a
oh.
grungy voice.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
And they actually played in Chicago like 3 or 4 weeks ago or something when I was still out there, and my buddy texted me. He's like, "You going to Sara Shook?" I'm like, "I wish, but it's in Chicago and I can't make it out there. But now I could have. God damn it!"
Fuck it up again.
But yeah, so yeah, check out that album.
Yep.
Great. Next is Kevin's least favorite country artist of all time, Jason Boland, Hard Times Are
Yeah,
Relative.
absolute garbage from start to finish.
Kevin has never enjoyed Jason Boland. He's been lying to you this
I just
entire
wanted
time
to
just to
be
sound cool.
Evil lies that look right through the pain that paid the devil's due. They don't mean nothing because I've learned. I don't deserve you, darling. Don't know what I did so right. I don't deserve you by my side.
No, but this album is good. I really liked it. I thought it was just a perfect continuation of the sounds that they have, where it was it was different, but it still kind of felt like the same, like in the same vein, and I really liked it a lot, which I probably would have liked it even if it was bad. So all right.
Yeah, you would have
100%.
Don't matter. But no, yeah, it was a fantastic album. Next is Jay Bragg's Honky Tonk Dream.
I can only dance to country music. I don't two-step to rock and roll. I can spin you around to these electric sounds, but it might spin out of control. How about we leave this nightclub, hit up a honky-tonk instead? The DJ's fine, but my kind of time is an open ballroom with a neon moon, a little George Strait and some Haggard tunes. We could stay right here, but honey, I don't think I'd choose it, 'cause I can only dance to country music.
This one came out just like a week and a half ago or something like that, but I just loved it. It's just a very we talked about it obviously last week on the podcast because it had just come out, but it's just a super honky-tonkin' like dance country album. I think he only has like one slower song on it. It's like all of them are just like dance songs, like boot scooting dance songs. And I just love that feeling about it because actually I think it was people are talking about how that feeling is on its way back because Randy Houser released that new song last week.
And it's
then
good. And it's actually
apparently
good.
Garth Brooks' song was kind of honky tonkin'. So
yeah, I haven't listened to that.
We
one
don't
yet,
have Amazon Music.
because it's not on Spotify because he is a weirdo.
Yeah. But so like people are kind of saying like maybe the honky tonk sound is kind of making a revival because obviously, I mean, granted we've been saying it for 2 fucking years and a year on this podcast that maybe it's making a comeback, and then another fucking Bebe Rexha comes out and we're like, never mind.
Exactly. It's going so. It looks like it's going so well that all of a sudden it's just like.
But I think what we've also said is that we think that it's not that stuff is going away or that this stuff is making its huge revival. I think the fork in the road is just splitting even further and further. Like the spectrum is getting wider, or more like black and white, because it seems that you're either going in the right direction of being country again, or you're just becoming a shit stain, even worse. And like,
yeah.
And Jay Bragg is a new guy, and he's obviously going in the right fucking direction with like Randy Houser and Garth Brooks. But yeah. So next we're gonna get into the 6 that we just think stand above everything. Granted, those last 10 were all amazing albums. We're not saying anything bad against them, but these 6 are just amazing. We'll save our favorites kind of of the year for last. So first is Josh Hedley's Mr. Jukebox.
So feed me nickels, feed me dimes. I'll play your favorite song just one more time. I'm right here in the corner anytime you're feeling blue. If you've got a new romance, well, I've got the perfect dance. If you need me, I'll be here. I'm Mr. Jukebox.
Yeah. Oh no. This is probably the most like traditional in terms of like 50s old style country, like
it
straight up
50s
country,
but not in a dated way.
Exactly. And his like, and really the only thing that, like I said, whenever this came out and whatever podcast was right around when it came out, I said like my only real complaint is that it's so like perfectly like 50s country that he doesn't let his voice, which is tremendous, his voice is great, he doesn't really let himself just like belt it out there at times. Like it's kind of, it just always stays in this mold. And so I'm just like, man, if he had like a Stapleton-esque song, like an Either Way, where he could just fucking throw the voice out there and show everybody what he's got, I think it would be awesome. But again, this album was tremendous. The song Mr. Jukebox, I don't remember how early it got released. It was a couple weeks before the actual album. And I swear I listened to it like fucking 30 times in those couple weeks.
And then it was, as we talked about on the podcast, when we saw Bones Owens, we were out talking to him before a show, and he was talking about how people actually call him Mr. Jukebox because he knows like every country song.
Yeah, they could call something out and he would be able to play it on the spot.
Yeah, and so it's cool that, like, I remember Kevin said it, and you might have said, I know you might have said it on the podcast, but you might have just said it when we were there. He goes, oh, so I thought, so it gives more meaning to the actual song, Mr. Jukebox.
Exactly, it makes it that much cooler of a song.
Yeah. But yeah, so Josh Hedley, Mr. Jukebox, fantastic.
Absolutely.
Next is, oh shit, I don't have the album name written down. It's Culberson County, I think. Red Shahan, Culberson County.
Yeah, it's Culberson County. Yep.
Ever gonna find us? Shipwreck on the mountain, rubbernecking all the outlaws. It's who we wanna be. Belly up and just fake it, and two-step over 80, so we can hope to be someone someday.
Yeah, this album, I remember when it came out, I said this, and I say it again. Like, I love Men and Coyotes. I thought that was a fantastic album, but this one is so much more country. Like, the first one was very bluesy sounding, and this one is just a very country album, and I love it more for that.
Yeah,
like,
it still has the elements of Men and Coyotes in, like, certain songs, like the song Revolution is, like, very kind of rockin', blues type of feel to it. But I agree, it definitely has a more of a country overtone, and I like it a lot. I actually bought this album because he has these really badass hats, and I wanted one, and you could buy the hat and pre-order the album, and I was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I did, and it was worth it because this album's great.
Yeah, this is one that every time... Actually, like, my daily mix is pretty much all these artists that we're talking about. Like, I'll have one of my daily mixes be that, and almost always Red Shahan is on there, and it's always just...
Yeah, I've had this album in my car like ever since it came out, just as like when I don't feel like plugging my phone in and setting up Spotify, I'll just flip it to the CD and let it play. Yeah. And so I've been I don't know how many times I've listened to it.
Nice. Oh shit. Computer turning off.
Oh no.
Don't skip. When my screen goes black, I found out that's when it skips. So I got to keep my screen on. Anyway.
That's racist.
You're racist.
Oh.
Next is American Aquarium, Things Change.
I'm headed out to Oklahoma, out with the dust and the wind. I got a funny feeling, baby, that we're gonna fit right in. Out there in Oklahoma, I'll be standing tall. If anyone asks, you can find me out in the land where work conquers all.
As we talked about B.J. Baum and American Aquarium on the episode about him, but I think that was before the album came out, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Because this CD came out like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This album is just better than their others. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah,
like,
I agree. I feel like, especially for me, who I'm not as familiar with a lot of the older American Aquarium like you are.
Yeah,
because
his first
I didn't
3
get
CDs,
really into
I
them.
didn't really know them that well until listening to the or getting ready for the podcast. Like, it was his like 3 more more recent CDs that I knew. So yeah, it was the older ones I didn't know as well. But yeah,
exactly. And so for me, not really knowing a lot of the older stuff as much, I kind of felt like he had so many songs that I liked, but they're all kind of like scattered through different albums.
Yeah.
And then this one, I'm like, start to finish, I really liked it. So I was like, I feel like on some of the older albums, there were a lot of really high highs, but then some songs that I just didn't listen to or getting into for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And then this one, I'm like, start to finish, I love it.
yeah. Wait, you want to talk into the mic, Augie? Say hi. My puppy's saying hi. Hello. But yeah, I just like this song. I love. Yes, I see you. I love the album, or the song like Tough Folks Do, where it's kind of the Trace Adkins, Tough People Do type thing of, like, tough times don't laugh, but tough folks do. And even though they get political on the album, it's not like a fuck Trump and liberalism is the best. It's like just kind of this, because the way he words it, he just goes like, last November I saw what desperation makes good folks do, or whatever. It's like something along those lines, where it's not like these people who voted for Trump are evil people. It's just like they needed something new and they just took the dive for it. And he's not like blaming them for like where America's at or anything like that. It's not like this, like fuck conservatives type song. It's just like he states his feelings, but it's not in like a negative way kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed that about it because, I don't care about politics or whatever, but yeah, I just thought that was cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next is Asher McBryde's Girl Going Nowhere.
We've all got a number that we don't want to drunk dial, and a good friend we ain't seen in a while, and a slow dance left in these boots, and a chance at putting down new roots. Here's to the breakups that didn't break us, the breakdown wrong turn that takes you to a little dive bar in Dahlonega. Hear a song from a band that saves you, man. It's a hitting rock bottom. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Nothing's going right. Making the best of the worst day kind of night.
like that song alone, "Girl Going Nowhere," makes this album like one of my favorite years, because that song, I actually watched her perform it on the Opry when she like started crying while singing it, and that hit me so hard. I was just like, that is an amazing like thing.
Yeah, I think this album really is just fucking great.
Yeah.
And I love that song, but honestly, the song Dive Bar in Dahlonega is many times I've listened to, but I definitely feel like that's a top 10 listen of the year for me so far.
Yeah.
I just absolutely love it, and her sound is great. The album's just good. It's just good.
And I think we talked about it when that episode, when we did that episode, but like I liked it that it was, she had like a classic but contemporary sound where it sounded like what the radio sounded like in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yes.
It's not like a traditional in the sense of like, oh, this song could have come out in the 80s. Like it was a newer but still country sound.
Yes. It was the way that I feel if you're going to update and modernize things but not abandoning your roots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so this album was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next is probably or do you want to do your lead or my lead for?
Doesn't matter to me.
All right, we'll do.
Go for it. You already started saying it for yours.
Yeah. All right. So my kind of favorite of the year, the one that I've gone back to probably the most, is Randall King's self-titled.
Well, she's always right, I'm always wrong. I should be mad, but it turns me on when she's tugging on my heartstrings. I don't like change, but she don't care. I'm getting up early, I'm combing my hair. I try to fight, but she don't fight fair. I hate I like it, but man, I swear she's tugging on my heartstrings. Yes, she is.
He's just like we said before. I know we've said it in person. I don't know if we said it on the podcast. He's like George Strait reincarnated, even though George Strait's not dead.
Exactly. George Strait has not died, but a piece of him has splintered off and become a younger guy somehow.
Yeah, and even like Garth Brooks has been singing his praise, and I'm pretty sure Randall King is doing a song on Garth Brooks' new album. And it's just so good. Like, it's just so traditional. He sings like George Strait, but the sound, it's like, not that the music like sounds exactly like, oh, this is what George Strait would sing. It's like his voice sounds that way, but the sound is still his own. Yeah,
and this one is tremendous. I definitely would put it in like top 3 of the year for me for sure so far, because it is tremendous. And I remember when it first came out, it was one that I listened through all the way, and then was just like, we're going right back to the beginning, and we're going right through it again, because I loved it.
Yeah. So that one is fantastic, and he only has, 2 EPs out or something?
Yeah, he doesn't have that much, because he opened for, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast, but he opened for Cody Johnson when I saw him a year and however long ago in Iowa City, and I saw him, and when I was seen him
in the podcast, you saw him.
Exactly, and so I didn't know who he was at all, but then I saw him, and I was like, oh, this guy's really good live, and then I went to Spotify, I didn't have much music, and so then when this came out, I'm like, oh, perfect, that dude that I liked, but I kind of forgot about, and now he's great, so cool.
Yeah. And then number 1 is, though it's not
my
really,
number 1.
Yeah, Kevin's favorite so far.
Yeah,
of the year.
my favorite of the year so far is Nathaniel Rateliff's "Tearing at the Seams."
This ain't a getaway. You build walls around your heart to try to lock it in. I'm gonna leave it all out there to dry. I'm gonna leave it all out there. I'm gonna leave it all out there to dry. Oh, I'm gonna leave it all out there.
It is not country, so sorry for everyone I have misled.
Maybe we shouldn't have saved this one for last. But.
Too bad. They're the best. I love them. No, I really like them. They're this Americana jam bandy kind of indie rock deal. And I really like them. I've seen them live before, and they're great. I really like this album because I really like the incorporation of horns, and they just have a really unique style. And if you don't like them, that's fine, but I do, so yeah. Deal with it.
I don't care for... I think he's talented as shit, but I've just never... It's never been my sound. It was like the opener for John Moreland. Wasn't my sound.
You're a sound.
Dude was talented as
Bitch.
shit, but it wasn't my kind of...
Bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
So yeah, that's 16 of the 127 albums that we think are amazing that came out this year, so...
And next we shall discuss in depth the other 111.
Oh my god.
Strap in, folks.
Yeah, we're gonna do
going all night.
We're gonna do a 4-hour podcast. Ugh. Yeah, but anyways,
no
yeah.
thank
So, if you have any albums that you thought were better, let us know, and we'll say like, yeah, we'd like that one too.
Yeah.
Unless it's like, I'm trying to think what shitty artist had an album come out. I don't know. It's
17
like one of those
Memphis.
shitty. Oh my god.
Never forget.
Oh my god.
Never forget. If you're having a really great Independence Day extended weekend and you're like, this is too good, I gotta knock it down a couple pegs, fire up some 17 Memphis and prepare to have your eardrums ruptured from terribleness.
Yeah, didn't you not work today?
I did not work today.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. You
Jerk
didn't work
you.
all of last week, or the week before.
Yeah, I was unemployed, bitch. Anyway, so yeah, check out those albums, do the music and stuff. Last week we had some albums come out that were, goodly. We had the Wild Feathers, Greetings from the Neon Frontier, which was good. It was a goods. Riley Green's In a Truck Right Now. This one I was very torn if I wanted to add because Riley Green has this song that came out a long time ago called like Something About Her Dixie or something like that, and it was a dumb song, but it was a country song, so I kind of gave it a pass, even though it was a stupid song.
Yeah.
And also Whiskey Riff likes to blow him because he wears their hats. But
He's one that I feel like if it gets more popular would 100% make bad music.
yeah, and that's the thing about this album. I included it because the lyrics I don't think I listened to every song, but for the songs I listened to, they're bad. Like, they're not good songs, but they're also like those feel good songs where it's just like, it's like the song, like the title says, In a Truck Right Now. That's like what it is. It's like driving country bro-ish songs, but I included it because they're still country songs. They're not country, which is why I included it, because I'm not going to just write them off because the song writing isn't that great.
At least not yet. But he's on thin ice.
I'm sure he is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's Luke Combsing it, and hopefully he doesn't take the same tumble Luke Combs did.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so it's a good album, and I hope that he keeps that sound, because obviously bro country is dying, whether or not the radio wants to admit it. It is dying, and I hope that he realizes that and catches the wave before it drowns him.
R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah. Next is Shane Owens. It's a Southern thing. Thing. It's Winchester, self-titled. McKenna Bray, Once in a Blue Moon. Ryan Martin, Gimme Some Light. That was really good. And then finally, Cody Cannon and the Departed's 3, which isn't it because it's their third album?
Yeah,
I believe.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
Because it is their third album, or at least it's the third one that I'm aware of.
Yeah, if you're from Oklahoma, you know who the fuck Cody Cannon is.
It's ragweed minus the one of the ragweeds.
Cross-Canadian ragweed with just Cody Cannon.
Exactly.
But yeah, and they're very rock, very country.
Yeah, they're very much, if you know Cross-Canadian ragweed, they're very much like that, where it's got the country-ness to it, but for the most part, they're just like a rock band that has the styles of country and red dirt infused into it.
You're cutting in and out.
You're cutting in and out.
There we go. You're
Bitch.
back. All right. Don't have to have this part. So,
Bitch.
hello, everyone.
Bitch.
Anyway, so that's what came out last week. Check out the playlist Friday's new music for the best country releases every week. What else you been listening to, Ken? What you been doing? What are you watching? Who you thinking about?
I don't know. I feel like this week, and then last week as well, I listened to a lot of John Moreland in anticipation, which was, obviously great. But then, as is tradition, I've been wearing out all of the releases by Cody Jinks in anticipation for his album.
Yeah, Lifers is a fantastic song.
Yeah, love it. Love Must Be the Whiskey. I've listened to both of those so many times.
Yeah. Like I said, I've just been watching The Good Place. I've been listening to the buzz of fluorescent lights in my new office because I've been training, so I can't listen to music right now. So that's been
it's
boring.
fun stuff, right?
Yeah, so I can't wait to I can't wait to actually get into my work so I can put headphones on.
You're a headphones.
Because I also have literally like 25 podcasts I haven't listened to yet, and they're just piling up.
They're like unread emails. You're just like, oh God, why?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you can find us at countryhodgepodge.com, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Country Hodgepodge, except Twitter is at country. There's no O in you in country. There's no O in you in country. That's how you find it. Spotify, you can find Hodgepodgecast Picks, where every week I upload songs that we talk about on each podcast, so you can listen to them in full and be like, wow, those guys' taste in music is good.
Yeah.
You can also find on the web a link through the website, or if you search Donkey Factory, one word, on Spotify.
What a name.
Yeah, fantastic. You can find Kevin's Picks of the Week, where every Monday he uploads 10 songs that you should be listening to. This week was very American.
America.
Good old America birthday.
Yeah.
You can find our dumb shirts on a link through the site, or if you go to tpublic.com, just search like Country Hodgepodge, you'll find it. My Instagram is at CHP_Clifftron. Kevin's Twitter and Instagram is at CHP_Trarch. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. It'll help us get found, and people can listen to us and say how goddamn annoying we are.
Damn right. Taking pride in it.
So, yeah. So next week we'll go back to talking about artists. We're going to talk about Sam Hunt next week. Stay tuned for that one. So until next week, I am Steve Hodge. As always, joined by Kevin Hodge saying goodbye, good night, and good Charlotte.
I love you.